today and I'm bringing you another Fortnite video, and in today's video I'm going to be running over the best settings to have on when playing on console. So that will apply for Xbox One players and PS4 players. If you're on PC, then this isn't going to be any use to you because I'm pretty sure your settings are a million times different to the console players. But before I get into it, I want to show you this new dance that I got yesterday. It's lit. Yeah, you should pick up that dance. I'm pretty sure. Oh, it's not on the store anymore. It was a yesterday daily item. I think it was 800 V-Bucks, I believe, 800 I think. And I had like 500 spare, and then I just bought a couple. But yeah, it's very worth it. When you dance at the beginning of the game, everyone just turns down the stairs at you. But let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into the settings. So you come onto here. And as you can see, there's a ton of different settings you can go through. So I'm going to quickly run through what I have. I feel like this is the best to play on, especially for the new players who are only just starting out on the game and have no idea what to go with. So my controller sensitivity X. This is when you're looking left and right. And I recommend having this quite high because, especially when you're in those fast-paced early game moments when you have to build rapidly, or if you get sandwiched, or you've got to focus on more than one enemy at a time, it's very good to have a high sensitivity so you can always keep the lookout, you can build super quickly, and it just helps. Well, your accuracy can be a little bit bad at first. It did take a little bit adjusting because obviously the default, I'm pretty sure, is 5. And to go from 5 to 8, it can take a little bit of adjusting and getting used to, but it doesn't take long. A few games and you should be fine. Your Y sensitivity you want a little bit lower because that's looking up and down. That can really affect your headshots quite badly if you have that really high. To get a headshot you only have to lift the right analog stick up slightly, so you don't want that as high as your X sensitivity, but you still want it fairly faster than default just because it helps a little bit to have that speed. Your ADS sensitivity is once again lower than your X sensitivity because this is when you want to make those long range shots. You want this fairly in the centre, so I've got it at 60, a little bit higher than default, but this is just so you can make those precision shots with your scars across the map when there's an enemy running away and you just need to get those last few bullets. It really helps to slow down your sensitivity a little bit so you can steady aim your shot. It just makes it more smooth when you're shooting long range. Scope sensitivity, I've just got it on the same because I'm used to having it slow and I'm aiming down sights, so it just feels the same for me with the scope. The hard scale you want to have it at maximum. So with the Xbox safe zone, it just depends what telly you got really. It just makes it so it expands to your whole TV. 60 FPS, I have this on because if you read on the top right there, it says when on it prioritises smooth gameplay over visual quality. I'd rather play smooth and not lag and it look good, so I just have that on. Your matchmaking region, you want the one with the lowest MS. So whichever area you live in, basically, you put it on there, otherwise you're going to lag like mad. So obviously I'm from England, so I have it on Europe. Invert view, I don't. I have that off. It makes you, if you look up, you'd look down. If you look down, you'd look up. Some people play like that, but I depend. It just depends on what you're used to, I guess. If you like that, then you can put it on. That one's just completely preference, to be honest. Sprint cancels reloading. I have this on because sometimes you get in the sticky situation where you need to reload. You start reloading and then someone starts shooting at you and you can't switch gun or anything. You just sat there reloading. If the sprint cancels on, you can sprint forward and then switch weapon, and then you can retaliate. It allows you not to be a sitting duck basically. It allows you to actually get some bullets back on the guy shooting you, or gives you an opportunity to build and survive. Tap to search, slash interact. I have this on just because it speeds up chests, ammo boxes, supply drops. You don't have to hold down the X button. You just tap it and it zooms around instantly. It just speeds things up, makes it feel a little bit nicer. Toggle targeting, set range weapon targeting to be a press action instead of a hold action. To be honest, I've never had this on, and I'm fine without it on, so I'm just going to leave it off. If you have it on, then keep it whatever you're used to with that one. Auto equip better items on, that's quite self-explanatory, so whenever you run over something better, it will automatically equip it in place with what you already had. Vibration on, I like that because your controller will vibrate when you're taking damage. You don't always, like, if you don't have vibration on, you're not paying full attention, you might not notice. The vibration really helps you out. Aim assist, I'll definitely put this on. You don't realise how much it helps until you take it off. and realise how trash your aim is. So that I 100% recommend to have that on. Reset build and choice, I 100% recommend to have this on as well. I never used to have it on because I used to always have it as stairs. So I'd switch to my stairs at the beginning of the game because that was what I built the most. But then I realised that would be really crappy when you're getting shot at late game and you're chucking out stairs instead of walls. Basically, when you put it on, if you were to build a set of stairs, for example, to go up a cliff, when you cancel out the building and then go back into it, it will resell it back to the wall. So if you're getting shot at, you instantly put up walls super bloody quick. It's very useful, and yes, I 100% recommend having that on. Turbo building, I recommend having that on as well. It speeds up buildings so much. Basically, you used to have to keep tapping the right trigger to place down walls, stairs, roofs, etc. With turbo building, especially when you're building a base, you can literally just hold down the right trigger, spin in a circle, and you're covered by 4 walls. It speeds everything up dramatically. Auto material change I have on as well. Basically, if you're building stairs and you run out of wood, it will automatically just start making them out of brick, so you don't lose any time having to switch your materials. So that's another thing that just speeds things up. Show spectator count, that is just showing if people are watching you basically. If you kill a squad of 4, it will say you have 4 people spectating you if you're watching you. That is literally just preference. That makes no difference to your game whatsoever having that on. Controller auto run, pointless, I don't have that on. Streamer mode is pointless as well, I don't have that on either. Brightness I have all the way to the top. I feel like ever since I've turned that on, it's helped me see people long range. That's completely up to you. If you prefer to play it with a dark scenery over a bright scenery, then turn it down. I just have it to the max. I feel like it helps me see players easier. Audio I've left on default. I have no problem with the audio in this game. I've just left that as it is. Colorblind, that's obviously if you're colorblind. So there's obviously multiple types of colorblindness, I guess. I'm not colorblind, so I've kept that off. If you are, then just switch it to whatever. I assume if you're colorblind, you're going to know what this means. I have no idea. And this is the important part. So you've got, on the controller, you have Standard, Quick Builder, and Combat Pro. If you're not on Combat Pro already, I highly suggest you go and play on Combat Pro. It just makes everything so easy. Like if you look on Standard, for example, when you're switching weapons, you have to tap Y. But once you've tapped Y, you then have to tap Y 4 times again to get back to the weapon that you started with. Combat Pro, you can just tap LBRB and then you switch back and forth. Like things like the double pump, so easy on the Combat Pro. Hand cannon into assault rifle, things like that. When you have that high damage weapon and then you can shoot 1 bullet and insta switch into an SMG, an AR or anything like that, it makes it so easy to get kills. And it'll take a little bit of a while to get used to, but I can't stress enough how much you need to be playing on Combat Pro. I also tried Quick Builder, but it's not worth it. You can build super quick on Combat Pro. Like that is just an irrelevant controller layout, to be honest. But yeah, I believe most people started on Standard, and if you played before Season 2, so if you're still on Standard, I highly recommend you go to Combat Pro. But I think it's if you started the game after Season 2, it started you on Combat Pro anyway, so most people should already be on there. But if you're not, then take the time to get used to the controller layout, please. So I think that is everything in the settings. Decline, because I liked them how they were. Did I change anything? Oh god. Oh, never mind, I'm back. So we're going to hit that dance again. Definitely get that dance. So yeah, they are my settings. They are what I recommend to play on, especially if you're new. Go and hit them setting ups, copy what I've just said, and hopefully you'll see an improvement in your game. If you don't need the improvement, then just try the settings anyway. You may prefer those. But yeah, you should see my gaming tag is Panda with 11Ps. Add me if you like, we can get you into some squad games. But yeah, that's everything for this video. If you could like, subscribe, that'd be much appreciated, and that's everything. Peace!